What's going on, guys? This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we need to dive into the latest playoff picture for the NFC as our Seattle Seahawks are trying to go for that 1 seed in the NFC. The 49ers just came away with a victory over the Indianapolis Colts and old man Phillip Rivers. So it is important to give you guys the most up-to-date information going into NFL Week 17. But help us out. Come on in. Make sure that you like the video if you want the Seahawks to get the number 1 seed. Hit that thumbs up button. Don't jinx the Seahawks. They're the number 1 seed right now. Don't jinx them. Hit that like button. All right. Here is the most up-to-date current NFC playoff picture. Now, the Seahawks, they are in that number 1 spot. They have that X next to their name. Why? Because we are going to the playoffs. Missed out last year. Not going to be the case in this season. Seahawks do control their destiny all the way, but as you look in that wild card position, there are 2 teams in the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams that are nipping at our heels. And I think what's most important to know is when you look at the San Francisco 49ers, that win on Monday night put themselves in a position to where they could sneak up and grab the 1 seed potentially if they take care of business. Now, the 2 big wins over the weekend that kept the Seahawks from being able to really make some headway in clinching the NFC number 1 seed was the Chicago Bears and the 49ers beating the Packers and the Indianapolis Colts. This really threw a wrench in the plan of what the Seahawks wanted to do because the Bears and the 49ers are still alive when it comes to that 1 seed. Now, the only real path that I see for the Seahawks right now, or I guess I should say the easiest path for Seattle to clinch the 1 seed is for them to win out. We want the Seahawks to just take care of business. Then it's no worries. Right now, the Seahawks have about 40%, if I remember correctly, over on FPI, over on ESPN when it comes to clinching that 1 seed. If they lose to either the Carolina Panthers or the San Francisco 49ers, that does drop to around that 20% mark or lower. So here are the last 2 games for the Seahawks. You're taking on the Carolina Panthers on the road this Sunday, and then you're taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Week 18. And that Week 18 matchup is going to be a very big deal. But don't look over and don't overlook the Carolina Panthers. It can very easily be a trap game. You just went from the biggest game of your season to beating the LA Rams, and then on the horizon, you are going to have what would be then the biggest game of your season against the San Francisco 49ers. It could mean the division. It could mean the NFC 1 seed. You don't want to overlook, though, the Carolina Panthers because you need to get there. So just take care of your own business. Go 1 week at a time. Head coach Mike Macdonald has done a great job of this, right? He has made sure that the Seahawks are locked in on what's most important in front of them. And aside from a game against the Indianapolis Colts that got pretty hairy, I felt like the Seahawks have been able to really control their own destiny, and they don't overlook opponents. Again, the Colts and Phillip Rivers, after that Monday night performance, I feel a little bit better about that game being as close as it was. So I do want to ask you before I do go into some of the clinching scenarios for Week 17, because there are a few out there for the division for the Seahawks. Will the Seahawks get the number 1 seed in the NFC? Not the NFC West, the entire NFC. Let me know down below in the comments if you think we will. Type yes. If you think that we won't, type no. You better cite your sources. This week, I've decided to go APA style, so make sure that you have that we're excited bibliography there at the very end. So, I've already mentioned it. What can happen in Week 17 for the Seahawks? Because there is a world where Seattle can become the NFC West division title holder. They can't clinch the 1 seed. That's not possible. But they can clinch the division. Easy for me to say. We'll get into that possible scenario or scenarios in just 1 minute, but I got to let you know about my good friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. PrizePicks. Everyone's favorite PrizePicks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Picksmas. PrizePicks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day. including a Christmas Day max discount. Picksmith starts December 20th, so download the app today and unwrap those deals. I have a 2-pick power play for the action this weekend. Bryce Young against this defense, less on his pass yards. Sam Darnold against their defense, more on his pass yards. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. So I've already alluded to the fact that the Seahawks can win the NFC West. Now, unfortunately, it isn't just a win and the Seahawks are in type of a situation. It would mean that the Seahawks need to win, and then they would need some help on the back end. So let's go through the 3 games that are going to matter for that matchup. First, take care of your own business. We play the early game, or at least one of the early slated games, against the Carolina Panthers. The Seahawks are favored in that one by more than a touchdown. The Seahawks should be able to come away with a victory against the Carolina Panthers team that they are good, they are frisky, they beat the LA Rams, but I wouldn't sit here and say that they are a real Super Bowl contending team, right? The Seahawks need to find a way to just handle their own business, and then on the flight home, they can deal with some of the other things that need to go their way. The first game that needs to go their way for the Seahawks that Seattle can't really control is the Sunday night game in Santa Clara. The Seahawks need the Chicago Bears to come away with a victory. Now, this is going to be a difficult game. It's not an easy task for the Cardiac Bears. As good as their record is, the Bears play a lot of one-score games, a lot of close games that have gone their way. Kind of think Kansas City Chiefs last year. That's what the Chicago Bears are. San Francisco is peaking at the right time. They're starting to get healthy. Brock Purdy is starting to look like a good quarterback again. And San Francisco is figured to take care of business against Chicago. Fingers crossed that some of that Bears magic continues to go back the way of Chicago, which would actually go back the way of Seattle. Now, the last matchup that you have to care about is going to be on Monday night. I would believe it is the last Monday night game of the NFL season. Seattle needs the impossible to happen. Seattle needs Raheem Morris and the Atlanta Falcons to figure it out. Seattle needs Atlanta to come away with a victory over the LA Rams. I don't know if that is possible, but one can really hope. One can hope that Atlanta, for whatever reason, finds a way to make things difficult. So the easiest way for all of us to see it right now, the NFC West title will be won for the Seahawks if they win, the Bears win or tie, and the Falcons win or tie. So there is a possible chance for Seattle to get there. But I think this is important to note. I don't think this is likely to happen. When you look at what the Seahawks need, they need 2 teams that are not expected to come away the victors to come away with victories. If that does not happen, or I guess they could come away with a tie. But if that does not happen, then the Seahawks are going to be playing a very important game in Week 18. I do want to ask you, though, this question, because I know that you've got some opinions. Will the Seahawks clinch the NFC West in Week 17? I guess I should say the Seahawks will clinch the NFC West in Week 17. Do you agree with that statement, or do you disagree? Now, you might disagree, and not because of what Seattle's going to do, but because of what San Francisco and LA are going to be able to do. So let me know down below in the comments, agree or disagree. As I've said, APA style, cite your sources. Week 18 is going to be massive. I was really excited to come in here today and tell you, hey, the Seahawks can win the NFC West by this happening. Unfortunately, the Seahawks need this and this and this to happen. So I think we are going to be really down to the wire when it comes to Week 18, and that's the way that it should be. I want to play games that matter, and hopefully the Seahawks and 49ers have that late game, and it's for all the marbles, because if San Francisco wins out, they would get the number 1 seed and the NFC West title as well. Week 18 is going to be a very big deal in Seattle. Make sure that you come on in and like this video. Don't jinx the Seahawks. You want them to win the NFC West and the NFC. Hit that thumbs up button. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. Seahawks Today has all of your Seahawks news and rumors coming out for you. You don't want to miss out on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.